gravel path here, just by the house. It wasn't here last year. You couldn't do this, so this is totally new. So I thought I'd just have a quick investigation. Behind me is a lovely tree that we can see from the window. And I know that Julia wants to go and investigate that, so I'm not going to go and have a look at that alone. She'll be upset, so I just thought I'd have a little look, because maybe we could have gone for a walk on one of these little walks, either around this field or something like that. I don't know where it goes. It would be nice to have an evening walk on our last proper day. Oh, I think this just circumnavigates the estate. So that's not much cop, that just goes back to where, well, back down to the main road, Oxford Road, where the estate's just off. So maybe the other path will take us up onto the fields, I don't know. We'll come and investigate it later. It was just worth just having a little quick exploration. Right, gonna go back in, have a shower, have a shave, have some breakfast, and get ready for, well, have a look at the map, and then get ready for going out somewhere. So where are we going to go, Julia?
We're thinking of going to, I don't know how to pronounce this, but Lacock.
Lacock, is it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Or Lacock?
I don't know. I'm afraid of saying it. So here's Calne. And here's Chippenham, where we went the first full day. And then, where did we go after that? Oh, we went to Caution, which is here. And then yesterday we went to Castle Combe and Biddiston. And today we're thinking of going to that one.
Lacock?
Yeah.
Why do I enjoy saying it so much?
I enjoy saying it too, but not on camera.
And so another adventure begins on our penultimate day in Wiltshire. But hang on, what's this?
We just stopped the van for a moment on our way to Lacock, if that's how it's pronounced. And we were down this wiggly road, and we came across this amazing tower here. And then gates onto, so there's Bowden Park Estate that way, and on the other side there is Spy, is it? S-P-Y-E, Spy Park Private Estate. That side, like two estates meeting each other. I think it's fantastic. Right on this high ridge, which I guess must look, I think, westwards. Just going to go up and have a look at the gate, but it might be owned by somebody because there's a window opener. It looks like cups of tea at the top.
It's the northwest 16th century Tudor gatehouse, built of ashlar with stone slate roof, bearing the arms of Henry VIII, and it leads to a very big house.
Whenever I see anything like this, I just picture the coach and horses coming out back in the 18th century and zooming off wherever they go. How amazing. I love it.
Opposite then is Bowden Park, with its grander 1796 country house, not visible from where we are, a Grade 1 listed building, and I'm sorry I can't show it to you, but it has equally stunning views. And just down the hill is the Church of St Anne, a Victorian landmark built by the owners of Bowden Park. Oh, what it is to have money! And some flat-topped trees. On we go down the Lacock Road. And there's the sign. And yes, it is Lacock, not whatever I attempted before. Over the medieval stone bridge, beautifully narrow affair. I assume it's medieval. And there, on the right, Lacock Abbey, set in its acres of grounds, the birthplace of photography, apparently, but originally formed in the 13th century by Augustinian nuns. There is a National Trust car park on the outskirts, but we decided to get closer and take our chances in the village.
It's very lovely so far.
More of these impressive stone buildings. But the high street there to our right, well, it looked a bit busy, so we went on a little further and we found a place, I think to the north.
The one thing I really find fascinating about this trip that we've been doing is everywhere we go, noisy bus, everywhere we go, the towns and the villages are just so different to Sussex. And that's the great thing about travelling around England, you know, depending on the geology, will depict how the buildings are made, whether they're made from stone or from wood, etc. And here, clearly, this whole area is very Cotswoldy, very stone. I don't know if it's sandstone or limestone, but I love it very much.
Absolutely fascinating topiary. It's a naked woman by the looks of things. Absolutely wonderful. She's quite tall. And right next to a lovely stream with lovely stepping stones across it, and what looks like might have been an old watermill.
OK, so prepare yourselves for shots of old buildings, hundreds of them, because this place is simply littered with them. You ain't going to find a 1970s vulgar semi here, or a hideous noughties new build. This is a pucker sanctuary from the lovers of architecture of the old days. Oh, and I wish they still built them like this now.
In our previous episode, when we were in Biddestone, I said that would be the place I'd like to live in. Can I revise my opinion?
You like this place then?
I like it. This is, do you know, I think this is nicer than Corsham. So far, we've only just stepped out the vehicle, but so far, just the views of this oldie-woldy looking, you know, step back into history. Just, yeah. But let's go and have a look round.
Spoiled for choice round here, though, aren't we?
Aren't we? What are you doing in there, Julia?
Well, I'm not in jail. But I've missed my bus. It's a bus stop.
Just looking up at this building here, the chimney of this building, and then there are these square plaques, and I was thinking, hang on a minute, what are they for? They're not holding the chimney up. But actually they are the entrances that from, well, 1600s, whenever these buildings were built, to clean the chimney, so you could stick your brush or your chicken or your small boy up the chimney and clean it out, get rid of the soot. It's lovely to see them there.
Mentioned in the Doomsday Book, Lacock is now almost entirely owned by the National Trust. Its heyday arose during the thriving wool industry of the Middle Ages. Most of the surviving houses date from the 18th century or earlier. Beautiful.
It is like just walking into a film set here, only it's real. That's the thing, it's not made up. But if you see down here, we've got the White House is a timber framed house with the beautiful, well, what looks like Horsham stone, but it's not Horsham stone, but it's obviously Wiltshire stone of some description.
Corsham stone, maybe.
Oh, Corsham stone, yeah, because we spoke to someone. We'll talk about that on another one. Then you've got another house there, and then you've got the shop. Now, if you look very carefully, I reckon these are all timber framed originally, probably 1600, something like that. They've been infilled, with the white one looks like it's just been infilled with rubble and wattle and daub and what have you. The next one looks like it's got a bit of brick in it, and then the shop, we suddenly see what was a timber framed, or still is, it's got this Georgian frontage, because in the Georgian period they became fashion conscious, and it was very unfashionable to have just timber framing. So we've got the Georgian windows and what have you, but then the bow window at the front where the shop is out of place, because that's later. I think that must be Victorian. So just in there, although it just all looks like we've stepped into one time zone, it's a whole load of different times all mixed up. I think it's wonderful.
It is wonderful, but I feel that maybe they should hand out period costumes for you to wear, rather than all our modern garb. It seems somehow inappropriate. The Abbey is magnificent. We didn't go in, but there is an exhibition about William Henry Fox Talbot, photography pioneer, inventing a process for creating light-fast and permanent photographs. This is the latticed window at Lacock's Abbey from 1835, made using his system. And this is me trying an arty shot. Plums or crab apples? Anyway, we're off to a big barn now. It's a tithe barn, in fact.
I knew it was a tithe barn. The size of it's so huge, had to be a tithe barn. This is Lacock's tithe barn. Oh yeah, found out that it's called Lacock, not Lacock. You knew that. I'm ignorant, I didn't. This is an amazing place. We've just been up to the house, the birth of photography, it says. I don't really know, and there's me doing some photography with my camera, and I don't know anything about it. How ignorant I am. This is what I'm finding on all my explorations, at the ignorance that one has. Life is a learning experience, but this is a massive stone tithe barn with, I'm standing by what I was standing on the outside a few seconds ago, this great big entrance door, and it goes on. There's two sort of elements to it. Let me just walk around to the other side. Come round here. Another bit here.
Anyone who's watched for a few years might know that I actually really like boot scrapers. I love looking out for them, I love photographing them. We found one here with a pair of boots in it. That I've not seen before. Huh, funny.
What about a giant clock then? Seen one of them?
It's a bit like a maze round here, actually.
It is.
All these tiny streets.
It's quite confusing.
We've had some great success with a number of the locals here. Where possible, we do like to
chat.
Chat, yeah, and just find out a little bit from the people. So the first chap we met was in his garden with a lawnmower,
That's right.
mowing his lawn, and I asked him how he put up with the tourists. It's it's a good opening line, really, and he said that he liked them. So that was good. Now, the interesting thing about him, he lived in this wonderful little cottage.
All his life.
All his life, as did his father, and his grandfather was born there, or his grandparents were born there.
Yeah, both his grandparents were born there, apparently.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Both
and
parents born in the same house.
maybe he meant grandparent and grandparent. No.
Anyway, so we met him. And
Generations have lived there.
Yes. And he...
Is the last of his line, I think.
Yeah, last of his line. Absolutely
Sadly.
amazing. Later on, we just popped into the poll station, into the town hall, where they're using it as a poll station for a rerun of the police constable, the police whatever it is, not the constable, but whatever. Anyway,
we got a bit confused and we were like, "Oh, have we missed something?" So we went in to ask.
And we met this very nice chap called Adrian, who's a guide with the Mayor's Guide in Bath. And he was telling us a little bit about this place. And one of the interesting things is I hadn't really appreciated is that it's all owned by the National Trust.
So it's all preserved as it should be.
They're very finicky.
Yeah, various properties are let and rented out.
And then we met a carpenter who was working for the National Trust who told us about the absolute detail of repairs that they have to do to the nth degree. So
he even pointed to a couple of windows he'd boarded up yesterday, taken out the windows boarded up so that he could take them back to
the workshop.
That's it, and repair. So, fascinating.
So we're now trying to find where we park the van so we can have a cup of tea.
Something else that the gentleman who lived in that house that we spoke to, the Generations guy, he said that, he listed so many films and TV series.
That's right.
A few of them
that have been filmed here.
Downton Abbey the film, I think, or Downton Abbey and the film, I'm not sure. Bits of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
The White something.
The White Princess. No, the White Queen, I think.
It was White something.
Yeah. Sure.
Many different, and you can.
So many different things that he listed that have been filmed here. So
amazing.
Yeah. And another boot scraper. What's the different angles you can take on this one? That's good.
Lacock's church is St Cyriac, rebuilt in the 14th century, probably from Saxon origins, and is dedicated to a Norman saint, who, until now, I'd never heard of. You're going to hear me wax lyrical now about its possible history, and on the whole, I'm fairly accurate.
Every church is individual, different, and has unique things to look at. We just stepped into this one here. I don't know what the dedication is actually, but we just walked into one particular area that just sings to me of craftsmanship and age. And it's this one with this fan, what do they call it? Fan ceiling above me.
St Cyriac?
Oh, St Cyriac, is it? Just this area, the rest of it looks much more Victorian, so one wonders if this is part of an original section of the church and then the rest of the church was built around it.
Look. This is what that ceiling used to look like. Vibrant colours.
Oh wow. Yeah, it is a vibrant, I mean it's amazing, painted and obviously, very medieval. It has to be.
In the 15th century, the church underwent a major rebuild due to the prosperity of the wool industry. More additions and changes commenced in later years, and now we have this magical Grade 1 listed building.
And here, certainly not ancient, but probably a couple of 100 years old, a rather magnificent yew. Just what you expect, of course, in a churchyard. Julia has yet to spot it, but she will.
It is a fascinating place, Lacock. Beautiful and, of course, quintessentially English. We certainly lived in style in the old days, even if we didn't know it. back to the van now and some lunch.
I see why you struggled yesterday chopping the cheese.
Yeah, it's not easy, is it?
It's crumbly cheese.
I need a better knife for one thing.
For a start, that would help.
That knife there is a bit rubbish.
Yeah, it's quite serrated. It's kind of a multi-use camping knife, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's time for a nice cup of tea.
And a nice sandwich.
And we could eat out, but we're on a tight budget, so...
And it's quite busy out there.
It's very busy, isn't it? And it may just get busier. So we're back in the van and all is good. And we've got a nice view of some houses, a few cars, bit of the road. But beggars can't be choosers.
People smiling at us from outside.
People passing through the window.
Oh yes, just to note, the property we parked outside of was...
Stylo?
Slughorn?
Someone from Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, yeah. It was used in Harry Potter filming. It was somebody's house in the Half-Blood Prince.
There has almost not been a day in which we encountered a horse, and needless to say, Julia was thrilled.
Walking boots on. We're going to go for a little stroll. We didn't really know what to do, but we thought we might as well have a stroll around here. I've downloaded the app from the OS map. The app from the OS map, yes. And rather than taking a noisy bus, we're going to go for a stroll somewhere.
Yes, indeed.
Which would be lovely, won't it?
Yes, it will.
Yeah. We haven't done a proper... Well, we did a bit of a country walk in Calne, didn't we?
Between the canal and the river.
Yeah. We haven't been on it. We haven't really done any long walks. I think because the sun has been in and it's been strange old weather.
And there's been too many lovely little villages with lovely period houses in them.
Yeah, this has been much more exploring Wiltshire for the towns and villages, definitely. So we've been doing the old sightseeing rather than just the ordinary walks. But we're going to climb over this gate here that's behind us. And this isn't a very long walk, but just really to stretch our legs,
Yeah,
I think.
This one's wobbly.
Oh yeah, it's a bit wobbly. Oh gosh. Come on.
Don't forget your mime, dog.
Come on, boy. Come on. Can I let him off the lead here?
I suppose it'd be alright.
Go on. Oh.
A mime dog is one thing. Yes, I know, very random. Cattle is another, very real. And any regular viewers will know that I'm somewhat scared of cows. Big, heavy, brutish things, determined to obliterate man in an instant. And then it happened.
There we were, strolling along through this cow field, discussing the cows and the calves, when suddenly I hear a whoa! And Richard disappears from beside me. I stop, turn around, and he's stumbling and trying to clean his shoe. He slipped on a cow pat.
I slipped on a cow pat the other day, slipped on a cow pat in the month of May, slipped on a cow pat.
It's not even May.
Well, August doesn't rhyme, does it? Right, so that's the second one. It's going to match absolutely brilliantly. Look at that! Isn't that amazing?
Don't we?